My mom, my mom told me to stop smoking weed in the house. So now I'm about to make some Kool-Aid and I'm gonna put some weed in the Kool-Aid. This is why I try to tell my mom it's impossible to make me stop smoking weed because there's so many different ways that I put weed in my system. I don't just smoke weed. I smoke weed, I drink weed, and I eat weed when it comes to the weed brownies. Weed cookies. I've had weed lollipops, weed macaroni and cheese. Like, I don't think she knows how far it's gone with the weed infusions. It's just impossible for it to not be in my system at this point. In some form, it's always weed in my system. And my girl just told me to don't call her out her name, and I had to explain to her. When I say bitches and hoes, it's not offensive to me. I think my girl is just the most sensitive Leo I've ever encountered in my entire life because they not usually emotional. They don't usually get into feelings and shit. They're usually like detached, like Aquarius is for the most part when it come to emotional shit. So that's why I told her she must have a lot of water sign placements to always care about feelings. Like, you hurt my feelings when you called me a bitch. Like, well, bitch, whatever. You see, you made me call you a bitch again. So it's like, just don't get offended and we be straight. Then I told her, like, well, see, the problem with that is I used to gang bang, and that's just second nature for a gangbanger to talk that way. So even though I'm not actively shooting at GDs and crab niggas, I still talk like a gangbanger. And bitches and hoes is a big part of talking like a gangbanger. Same as smoking weed. So, I'm like, good luck with that, girl. And on top of that, I got bitches and hoes that's okay with me calling them bitches and hoes. So of course she's like the first one to actually even bring it up and address it. Like, I had moved when I move on after I done said something, I done moved on too. So I'm like, rewind. When did I call you a bitch? What part was that? Doesn't matter, man. Just don't be so fucking sensitive, man. She making me want to reevaluate. Like, I don't know if you can make it. I like bitches with tough skin, thick skin. I don't know if she gonna be able to do it because I talk and there's no filter on my mouth when I talk. I let it flow, but I wasn't trying to offend her. I was just telling the story, and like I was talking about Walina, my ex girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, she ain't give me no pussy either. Like your lame ass. See, you ain't the only bitch who ain't gave me no pussy before, but it is a very rare thing to happen to me. And she's like, you just called me a bitch. I'm like, did I? Whatever.